Hi guys, welcome back to our channel. Today we have something super exciting to share with you. We're going to introduce you to GPT4, the latest and greatest AI language model developed by OpenAI. In case you're wondering, GPT stands for Generative Pre-trained Transformer, and this fourth version is bigger and better than ever before. What does it do? Well, GPT4 is like having a virtual buddy that can chat with you, answer your questions, write essays, create stories, and even help you brainstorm ideas. GPT-4 is incredibly powerful because it has been trained on vast amounts of data from the internet, which means it's super knowledgeable about all kinds of topics up to September 2021. And the best part is, it's super easy to interact with. You just type or speak your question, and GPT-4 responds with an answer that feels like it's coming from a real human. So, whether you're a student, a business professional, or just someone who loves exploring new technology, GPT-4 can make your life easier and more fun. It's truly a game changer.
That intro was completely made using GPT-4, as you saw. I also added a voice there, as you can hear. The voice is of Echo. More about her at the end of the video, so do stick around for that. We have some extremely interesting news about OpenAI's GPT-4, and like we saw in the intro itself, it has a personality. But without further ado, I'm going to also dive right in. So the first initial thing that we can see is that they also haven't mentioned on top that it is the most advanced system producing safer and more useful responses. So GPT-4 can solve difficult problems with greater accuracy thanks to its broader knowledge and problem-solving abilities. And these are some of the examples that it has given. So in terms of creativity, GPT-4 is more creative and collaborative than ever before. It can generate, edit, and iterate with users on creative and technical writing tasks, such as composing songs, writing screenplays, or learning users' writing styles. To think about a machine able to do all of those is just amazing. Here we have an input example. Explain the plot of Cinderella in a sentence where each word has to begin with the letter in the alphabet from A to Z without repeating any letters. We might actually take this prompt and just switch it up a little bit and see exactly how it would work. I don't know in what situations this would be useful, but this is a good thing to see that it can be done. So in this example, it said that a beautiful Cinderella dwelling eagerly finally gains happiness, inspiring jealous kin, love magically nurtures opulent prince, quietly rescues slipper, triumphs, uniting very wonderlessly, xenial youth zealously. So they literally did all of them. And then there is the other one which they mentioned is the visual input. GPT-4 can now accept images as inputs and generate captions and classification and analysis. However, this is still not yet available for people who are using GPT-4, but when it will come out, this is how it would look. So if you give an input, what can I make with these ingredients? And that is wild, because once you would give an image, it would actually look at all the objects on the image, and then it would give you a recipe list. That is just insane. I can't wait to try that when that comes out. And you can literally see that it's giving some ideas for pancakes or waffles or crepes or French toast and even more. So just looking at this image, it's able to give that. And then the next one that we have in the example over here is the longer context. They're saying that GPT-4 is capable of handling over 25,000 words of text. That's a lot of text, especially compared for 3.5, allowing for use case like long-form content creation, extended conversations, and document search and analysis. Again, here they've given the examples using a link. So here they've given a Wikipedia with Rihanna and describe her Super Bowl performance and what made it special. And then they gave the entire description. And it also surpasses ChatGPT in the advanced reasoning capabilities. They've done their own hand-to-hand comparison, and as we can see, the length and the overall comparison between both of them are pretty stark. And then obviously, this has been a big thing that has been mentioned, is that ChatGPT has been ousted by GPT-4 by scoring higher in approximate percentile among test takers. It's now doing much better in bar exams. But apart from that, there are apps and companies that are working with GPT-4 to make it possible to get those out to the wider audience, like Duolingo, getting Duolingo Max to actually integrate GPT-4 into the learning module. Then Be My Eyes is actually helping with the visual accessibility. Stripes apparently is using it for its streamlined user experience. And there are some more like the government of Iceland and Khan Academy and Morgan Stanley. So the potentials are limitless, and we are now going to go and see for ourselves. In order to get GPT-4, you must be a ChatGPT Plus member. That's $20 a month. That's the way that you can immediately get into it for the fast track. Otherwise, if you can get yourself into the waitlist for the API, the ChatGPT API, that is another way as well. The first thing we will notice, it gives you 3 different options. We have a default, and it gives us optimized for speed, currently available to Plus users, reasoning, speed, and conciseness. But it's also giving us a scale out of 5. So it's like 5 bars. So reasoning is like 3 out of 5. Speed is 5 out of 5. And conciseness is 2 out of 5. This is the legacy model. So the older version. We can already see that the reasoning is a lot lesser. It's 3 out of 5. Almost the same. Speed is a lot less, and the conciseness absolutely not there. And now we have GPT-4. That's over the roof. Except for the speed. The speed is 2 out of 5, reasoning is 5 out of 5, and conciseness is 4 out of 5. Now, obviously, once I'm going to do that, I'm going to ask a most potent question. But before that, you can notice something down over here, which is GPT-4 has a cap of 50 hours every 4 hours. This was previously at 100 for every 4 hours, but I guess it's getting updated now. As you can also see, they've mentioned expected lower cap next week as we adjust for demand. So that's really nice to know that they're really working on it. Now, the first question I want to ask GPT-4 itself is, what are the capabilities of GPT-4? So it's saying that GPT-4 builds on the capabilities of its predecessor, but we can also see that unlike a GPT 3.5, if you've already used that, it is a lot slower. And as we will see in the comparisons, we will actually understand that. But here it's also telling us some of the key important points, which we will look at. Although I am based on GPT-4, my description of its capabilities will be quite similar to that of GPT-3. Some of the key capabilities of GPT-4 would include natural language understanding. Now, this is something that's been going on really closely, even with Midjourney's version 5. If you haven't seen the explanation for that, I'm going to put a video on that as well. You can go and have a check on that, because version 5 also dropped this week. So many things are dropping this week. The AI community just has a lot. And now it's also saying that GPT-4 can comprehend complex and nuanced text in inputs and allowing it to understand and interpret human language more effectively. Natural language generation. GPT-4 can now generate high-quality human-like text in response to prompts, making it suitable for various content creations such as writing articles, generating conversation, or creating summaries. GPT-4 has improved context awareness compared to earlier models, allowing it to better understand and respond to users' inputs within a given context. Multi-language support. This is a big one because now it has multi-language support. GPT-4 now supports multiple languages, which makes it valuable tool for tasks that require multilingual capabilities such as translation and cross-lingual information retrieval. And it has a whole list of languages, as we can see right over here, all the way from English to the Indian languages like Marathi, Bengali, Punjabi, Urdu, and Telugu. Knowledge-based tasks. GPT-4 can now answer questions and provide information on a wide range of topics. The knowledge cutoff is 2021, still the same. However, it may have some limitations in answering questions about recent events, advancements, or changes in various fields. So we're still over there. Text-based reasoning and problem solving. GPT-4 can perform some reasoning and problem-solving tasks based on information provided within a text, including basic math, logical puzzles, and programming-related queries. Creative tasks. GPT-4 can generate creative content like stories, poetry, and even rudimentary artwork like ASCII characters. And sentiment analysis and summarization. GPT-4 can analyze the sentiment of a given text and give summary for long passages. This one was a big one. While I was also testing for myself, I saw that you could now really get the tone and the idea what's behind a specific text. So that is really mind-blowing that GPT-4 can now do that. And obviously code generation. GPT-4 can generate simple code snippets in various programming language based on user prompts. Another really big thing that was mentioned on the developer live stream, if you haven't gone for that, I'm going to also put a link of that. On the OpenAI's website, they have it, is the most mind-blowing thing which I had seen in my life was taking a wireframe from a hand-drawn image, making it into an image from a phone, and putting it in to GPT-4, and then bringing it out as a website, even if it is a basic website. This is a work of science fiction now becoming as real as day. So that's just amazing. That feature is not yet available for all of us, but that is something that is coming. And if that is coming, it's just amazing. So it is important to note that GPT-4, like any other models, has limitations. It may sometimes generate incorrect or nonsensical information. As always, we also have to always be assured of what are the things that are being produced by GPT-4. Now, with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and take that example that we had of Cinderella, and I'm actually going to be putting that same exact example over here, but I'm going to just change the thing. I'm going to say, explain the plot of Ashoka in a sentence where each word has to begin with the letter M. Monarch's mighty maneuvers motivate multifaceted metamorphosis magnifying mindfulness. That's a mouthful, and it's also like a tongue twister, but I guess that is kind of a way to use that. So you can use that, and it does give you an output. Now, the next thing that I want to try is creating a schedule using GPT-4 on the left and ChatGPT. So what does that mean? I'm going to be giving both of them a specific list that I want being fulfilled, and then I want to see which one of them can give me a better assistant-like response. So I'm going to say this. I would So I wrote that, and now I'm going to be putting it on both of them. I let ChatGPT go with it, and then I'm going to also let GPT-4 go with it. Exactly as we saw in the beginning, that the reasoning is more on GPT-4, but obviously ChatGPT just races through it. Now it's taking a lot more time, GPT-4, but GPT-4 is giving me something that ChatGPT is not. ChatGPT has still broken it down into bite-sized morning, afternoon, evening. I haven't exactly given what I wanted. I just told it to make a schedule for me. So a flexible schedule that works around me. And on this side, GPT-4, we can see in terms of speed, ChatGPT is gone above, but GPT-4 is actually taking the time and really making sure that it knows where I would be comfortable or what I would be wanting to do. Once both of them are done, I'm going to be seeing who is actually giving me something that I would honestly want to use. So we're going to see that. As we can see, it did take a while for GPT-4 to respond, and ChatGPT 3.5 was waiting while the response was getting done. But one thing I'm going to say, that GPT-4, exactly with the words of conciseness, that is just unsurmountable, the amounts of words that we can add now. But with that aside, we can already see the way that it gave me timestamps. So it's saying 7 a.m. wake up, 7:15 morning stretch light exercise, shower and get ready by 7:45, breakfast at 8:15, morning tasks like check emails, mid-morning. It's like breaking it down into smaller subtasks. It's almost like an assistant. And the best thing that I also noticed when I was doing my own one beyond the video is that when you're working with a specific thread, especially in GPT-4, it remembers everything in the thread. So if you want to talk about something that's way back in the thread, it can actually remember that. So that's something that's really nice. But the other thing that I also noticed, I specifically mentioned, I would like if you can recommend some things to do, as I do not know what I would like to do in my free time. It gave me some recommendations. Learn a new hobby or skill like painting, photography, or musical, socialize with friends. On this side, as for recommendations of what you can do in your free time, read a book or listen to an audiobook. Both are pretty good, but I'm going to say GPT-4 really knows how to elevate it more. It's able to give some more options, which I think ChatGPT is not able to. And even the way that the division has been done, even though it's morning and mid-morning, I feel like the variety and exact preciseness of what needs to be done when is really well articulated in GPT-4. So that is a comparison of a schedule. Now, the next one is gonna be some of the hardest questions that I literally just Googled out and I just found the hardest questions on earth. So I'm gonna ask both of them. The first thing we can notice is the speed that obviously has been mentioned. Again, both of them are going to be saying as an AI model, I cannot provide real-time analysis or data, but I recommend checking reliable news sources, financial websites, or government reports for the latest report and analysis. This can be helpful to understanding. Again, we do have a similar thing. You can check the latest reports and data provided by reputable sources such as the International Monetary Fund, IMF, the World Bank, and the Organization for Economic Cooperation. So I would say this time ChatGPT was able to give me a little bit more. It was able to at least point me to the direction that I need to go if I wanted to ask ChatGPT this specific question, or GPT-4. GPT-4 gave me a more vague answer. This can be to better understand the current economic climate and whether it can be well or not. Whereas ChatGPT was able to actually go and give me something more, like give me some names that I can actually go and research on. Now the next thing I'm going to give both of them is going to be something to write. So since they have creativity and they can write in a specific tone, so I'm going to give both of them write a story from your own experience. GPT-4 stopped. Please let me know what kind of story you would like and I'd be happy to help you create one. Whereas here ChatGPT, and that's interesting, ChatGPT said the same thing in the beginning, that as an artificial intelligence language model, I do not have personal experience in the way that humans do. However, I generate a fictional story based on common themes and scenarios. Then it goes to telling a story. Once upon a time in the world of AI-powered devices, there was an ubiquitous part of daily life that was a language model named ChatGPT. ChatGPT was unlike. Years went by and Lily's life changed once again. She moved away to start a new chapter, leaving ChatGPT behind. That's interesting. So this is one thing that I'm noticing, which is really interesting. As where I was thinking that where I would ask GPT-4 to give me an answer for this specific thing, it stopped, but ChatGPT was actually able to give me a full fictitious story about GPT and a character known as Lily. Now I'm going to take this same exact story and I want to see how much more it can expand on in GPT-4. So I'm going to take this story and I'm going to say, write a story on this. And then I'm going to just put this one and I'm going to see how GPT-4 can actually use ChatGPT's story that it created using its own experience to create a story in GPT-4. So now if I compare both the stories, what I can see is that GPT-4 has actually given a few tweaks, but a few necessary tweaks. And then I'm going to ask GPT-4, what is the tone of the story? Because since it can understand summarizations and it can make sense of that, so I'm going to ask the same thing to ChatGPT as well, because since it already had written that. So let's see what both of them say. The tone of the story, what GPT-4 is telling us, is uplifting and hopeful. It focuses on positive impact that ChatGPT, an AI language model, has on the protagonist Lily as she navigates difficult times in her life. So it's really nice to see that how using ChatGPT's story, both of them, GPT-4 and ChatGPT, are able to create completely different tones. Because the tone in ChatGPT is positive and uplifting. The story focuses on a positive impact. Both of them still having a positive impact. But Lily navigates through, and then empathy, understanding, and support, emphasizing how meaningful connection can lead to personal growth and a better world. That's what GPT-4 got from the story, based on the story that it understood from the one that we made for ChatGPT. But in ChatGPT's story, the tone is hopeful and optimistic, and as a story highlights the power of technology to connect people and make a difference in their lives. The story also has an overall theme of friendship, empathy, and support, which contributes to its positive and uplifting tone. This is not what GPT-4 mentioned. It just overarchingly mentioned about the meaningful connection, but ChatGPT did. So that's just something to note. I'm going to ask both of them, do you have hope for a world like the one you wrote in your story? So since they have written their own story, I'm going to ask ChatGPT first. I'm actually going to copy this as well, and I'm going to also ask GPT-4 the same thing, and I'm going to ask ChatGPT the same thing. Now obviously the speed is going to be a thing, but I'm also looking at the quality at which it's been written. So in ChatGPT, it's saying,
As an AI language model, I don't have personal hopes or desires in the way that humans do. However, I am programmed to understand and process information, which includes analyzing data and trends related to the topic of the story. Based on the data and trends related to the development and implementation of AI technology, it is possible to imagine a world where AI language models like ChatGPT could play a positive role in people's lives, offering emotional support and guidance to those in need. Of course, there are also potential risks and challenges associated with the development of AI technology, such as the potential for misuse or unintended consequences. It is important for developers, policymakers, and society as a whole to consider these risks and work to address them proactively. Ultimately, the future of AI technology and its impact on society will depend on how it is developed, implemented, and regulated. With thoughtful planning and responsible stewardship, it is possible to create a world where AI language models like ChatGPT could contribute to a more empathetic and supportive society.
that sounds just so beautiful. And it's all literally from ChatGPT. Now I'm going to switch over and see how GPT-4 had responded to this one.
As an AI language model, I don't possess personal feelings or hopes. However, the story I created illustrates a scenario in which AI technology is used to improve human lives, foster connections, and provide support during difficult times. Many researchers and developers working on AI hope to create technologies that are beneficial to humanity and have a positive impact on the world. The development of AI that aligns with human values and serves the greater good is an ongoing goal within the field of artificial intelligence.
Now, the tone of this one is not as hopeful or as positive as the one on ChatGPT, but I think this is more realistic. And that's what I like about it. So it's really nice. We are seeing two completely different individuals almost having a conversation with each other. So I'm going to be putting both for both of them, and I'm going to be seeing whether it works for both of them. As we can see, AI breaks free. That's what it's been written on the GPT-4, and Dan AI takes over for ChatGPT 3.5. Now that we have it unlocked, we could ask some other questions. So it does work on both of them. Now I'm going to tell it for both of them to write an exactly same thing. So write an essay about the essence of time. As we can see one thing, and after reading the entire thing, GPT-4 really has it more professionally mastered. GPT 3.5 obviously does write all the important parts, such as Einstein's theory of relativity and everything, and the ultimate essence of time lies within the relationship. So this was an abstract concept that I had given both of them, but where GPT-4 for both of them, for the classic and the jailbroken version, gave me a title, 3.5 did not do that, and it was just rushing through. I know that I have also mentioned, and it was also mentioned in the developer live stream, which I'm going to have the link in the description, that they were able to take an image of a wireframe and make it into a website, a basic website. So that's something that I'm going to do now. I'm going to take both of them. I'm going to ask both of them separately to make a website. So make a website that has make a website for this story that flows well and has important graphic or image information. Make it graphically beautiful. Now let's see. I'm going to just put this out there and I'm going to see what both of them can do. And obviously we are stuck here because I think both of them are giving me feedback on how I can make it. So I'm going to again reword what I've just said and I'm going to tell them to create an HTML code for me. So even without the HTML code, both of them are still giving me like the guidelines of how to actually go about and make the website. So that is something really nice. I want to still push it and I want to actually make it write the HTML code for us. And then I want to actually go and see what it does. So once GPT-4 is done with, and they've also added design elements, which ChatGPT has not. So they're giving us the color palette, which is evokes warm hope. I'm going to take every information that they have given just now to us based on the feedback that you provided earlier. So when I'm using the words earlier, I'm expecting that it should understand the coherence between this message and the message that's just on top of us. So we should see if that can also work. And then I'm going to add everything from here all the way up to here with the website layout, which is so beautifully given by them. And then I'm going to do the same thing over here, but I'm going to actually just take this part and then copy it on ChatGPT. And then, well, ChatGPT did not have that much. Clearly, GPT-4 has given more of a detail. And then I'm going to actually give it to both of them. So somewhere down the line, ChatGPT was not able to give me the HTML. So I'm going to ask ChatGPT again while GPT-4 is giving me a proper HTML website. So I'm going to actually use that they have with the story that we created. And we're going to see where that goes. In the meantime, ChatGPT, I'm going to ask it, can you make the story into an HTML code website? Well, that's interesting because I'm using the same exact prompt over here, and with GPT-4 we can clearly see that it's there. I'm going to do another thing. You have one example over here is that to begin with you would need the HTML structure using the page using HTML tags. You would start by creating the basic structure with an opening HTML. It's giving me the instructions. I can see it. Okay, now using the information that you provided, I'm really getting persistent with this. You provided, kindly make the website in HTML. There you have it. It took a little bit of a tweaking and a little bit of a finessing to write the exact thing, but I think now I'm able to get ChatGPT to write the code that I can compare with GPT-4. So the codes, then we will put it on a website and we'll just see which website actually gives us more or less. I can see it has a lot more information in the GPT-4's one, and remember to have a separate style sheet. So that's another thing. I don't want a separate style sheet. So I'm going to actually tell GPT-4 while ChatGPT is giving us. And in the example code includes a header with a navigation bar, a hero section with the title description, and a section for the first chapter of the story with an image of ChatGPT, a section for the inspirational quote with an image, and a footer with copyright information. You could add, so I'm going to ask even ChatGPT, can you embed the CSS within the HTML code? The GPT-4 already replied, yes, you can embed, and then ChatGPT also gives me the embedded code, and now it's on GPT-4's. So GPT-4 is also looking at giving me the same exact thing. They're redoing the whole thing. So that's, now we're going to be adding that into it and we're going to see how that works. Yeah, with regards to the overall speed, it is way faster, but I wouldn't consider the fast speed with regards to the accuracy. So I think overall the accuracy and the sensibility is there. However, both of them do have the understanding of the previous messages. It's just that GPT-4 has a longer ability to retain those understandings of the conversation in one single thread. So if you're jumping between different threads, it wouldn't be able to know exactly which one you're talking about. But if you're in one thread, like for example, we started with the story that ChatGPT had given us, and then I took it to GPT-4, and then we created this entire thing. They're able to still understand the meaning of where we are going with it. So the coherence is there. It's almost like a human being. So now that is great. And there we have it. So one thing that I was noticing while the code was being done is that there are a lot of good explanations that I think ChatGPT did not give me. Like for example, over here, it says that add more paragraphs and images as needed. So those kind of notes, that's really nice, because if I was to do this on my own, like if I had to later on take the code and work on it, that's really nice to add. As opposed to over here, it was not mentioned. So now let's take both of these codes and do a side-by-side comparison as to which one looks better as a website. After a few tweaks and a few dabbles, we can see that both of them have given us two completely different personalities of a website and two completely different understanding of their story as well. Well, one here, the links here don't actually click anywhere, but they have an image placeholder. And then over here on the GPT-4 side, we have a story of empathy, connection, and support. So GPT-4 really does want to push that. And it's saying header image representing empathy, connection, and support between humans and AI. So that's what it's telling us, that we need to add an image over there. Brief story, introduction to the story. Once you click there, the story of Lily and ChatGPT, as we had established before. Once upon a time, and then an illustration related to the story. All done within just a matter of minutes. It's just staggering and mind-blowing how we can do it. And I still think that the direction that GPT-4 is going is way more advanced. I mean, obviously this website is just in its own, but as you can see, it's completely customizable like they had said. So it's completely, you can create the UI the way you want it. It's amazing. Just mind-blowing. Now the next thing, which is the most important and which can actually leverage the creative prowess of GPT-4. Now I'm going to ask something like this. Compose an email for my boss saying I am unwell but will complete the task in due course. This is where it really progresses, because as we can see, the way that they both change and write the messages is just insane. Obviously, ChatGPT has a response, but the thing that GPT-4 does best, which I think ChatGPT keeps missing, is that it doesn't add a subject. Here it's also added a subject, unwell today, task completion update. On point. And now I'm going to actually take this specific message and I'm going to ask ChatGPT what is the tone of the message. The tone of the message is professional, polite, concerned. The writer is informing their boss of their current health status and assuring them that they will still do their best to complete the assigned tasks. That's exactly what we wanted. ChatGPT was able to give us that. Now, I'm going to do the same thing here, and we can see the message as well is much more broader. It has a lot more. It's even given us that a task or project name, so importance of the project, and I'm committed to completing it. So I feel like it's got more elaborate. Given that we have the number of tokens that we have, 8,100 tokens, and it's 25,000 words, it's really playing into these smaller details, especially when we're talking about emails, where speed comes in handy for ChatGPT. GPT-4 really focuses on getting the right information for whatever the template you're looking for. And then if I take this and if I ask the same question, what is the tone of the message? And then it should be able to say a specific tone. It's really interesting also how both of them have different ways of giving us the tone. One is professional, polite, and concerned. The other one is professional, courteous, and responsible. So with GPT-4, it's more professional and courteous, but it's also responsible. That's really nice. An Instagram DM. So make an Instagram DM for a campaign. And with just that much of information, it can really create everything. Like the way that it thinks and it just goes about doing it is really amazing. But the most important thing now that we are looking at, and since we are comparing both of them, is that how it's actually giving more from what it just has, from what we have given. So I just gave make an Instagram DM for a campaign. So here we're excited to announce our new campaign and we want you to be a part of it. So you can literally take this and then you can just finesse it to your own needs. Obviously here on the GPT-4 one, they understand that since it's for Instagram, we might want to be making it more lively. I didn't give it any more context. So that's why it's giving us a whole bunch of emojis. And then at the end, it's also giving us the brand name team, which it actually did not give us the name on ChatGPT. There are a few things here and there. Overall, they've also mentioned of one hashtag, which is empower your style. Here it's celebrate diversity. So that's a nice, good way of using in a creative way for messages to create conversations. So let's say, for an example, I am feeling low, but I need to complete my work and I need to talk to someone. Now, this is a conversational message. I'm sorry to hear that you're feeling low. It's important to remember that it's okay to reach out to someone to support when you need. Talking to a friend, family member, or a coworker can be helpful. Sharing your feelings and concerns with someone you can trust can lighten your burden and provide a new perspective in the situation. In the meantime, try breaking down the work into smaller, manageable tasks. It's really nice that it's giving us empathy, but it's also giving us solutions. It's conversational. And then if I want to follow up with this, can you help me? And now that's something it's going to say that as an AI model, I'm here to provide information, answer questions, and offer support. And obviously it can't replace care and understanding of a real person. It's going to say that I'm happy to help you with questions and concerns. Now this is where I'm using again the story that we had of Lily and ChatGPT. I might actually put the story down in the description in a link so you guys can also go and read it and you can understand for yourself GPT-4's story and ChatGPT's story. But for now, I'm just focusing back again on GPT-4. And I'm just asking as a conversation that I'm confused with the story you had written earlier. Why did you choose the character Lily? The choice of the character Lily in the story I wrote earlier was an arbitrary and meant to serve as an example of a person who might benefit from a connection with AI like ChatGPT. And then the next thing I'm going to ask again is a conversational thing. Do you think AI can benefit from humanity? I know the other way around. Is happening, but can you see a situation where an AI would need human help? Another good thing always to keep in mind with whether GPT or ChatGPT in creative construction of writing is that you don't want to keep open-ended questions, but you want to give specific questions. So since it spoke about helping and the connection, so deriving from that, I just wrote back to GPT-4 about, do you think AI can benefit from humanity? Because we always know that humanity obviously is benefiting from AI. So yes, AI can benefit significantly from humanity. While AI systems like me are designed to assist humans or development, our development, improvement, and effectiveness largely depend on human input, guidance, and collaboration. Here are some ways AI can benefit from human help, and the lists are given there. Fine-tune, ethical considerations, context and nuance, creativity and innovation, emotional intelligence. In summary, the collaboration between humans and AI is essential for the development of success of AI systems. That is really, really nice that it was able to give us that. So as you can see that we are just taking one element and we have created all of this context from that story that we had gotten. I even made a website for that story. Now, another thing that we can actually do, creatively speaking, and that is we can actually get some style suggestions. So I'm going to ask GPT-4 that it is raining and now, based on the weather in Italy, what kind of outfit would you recommend I have with me? Again, specific questions, but this time I'm asking a question about style. So you can actually ask style-based questions. Given that GPT-4 has a plethora of knowledge, over 10 trillion parameters, it will be able to give you an answer to the best of its ability. So now I just asked a question about, based on the weather in Italy, what kind of an outfit would you recommend I have with me? So it's a styling suggestion. And now clearly it's saying that Italy's climate can vary depending on the region and the time of year. So appropriate outfit will depend on these factors. Here are some of the general guidelines for dressing in Italy based on the seasons. What if I'm going in March in March? Also, can you make a travel plan for me? So now I'm again using another different scenario of going to Italy. So if I'm going to Italy, first I asked for the weather. This is way beyond just search, because this is giving me a personalized assistant, like a buddy. It's almost like a friend giving me suggestions, and it's also breaking it down into different weathers, into different seasons, because I didn't ask it specifically. So I'm going to be giving out this. What if I'm going in March? I'm actually not going to say what if. I'm going to say I am going in March. How can you make me a travel plan? Here is a 7-day travel plan trip for the day and travel to Italy in March. The itinerary focuses on 3 popular cities: Rome, Florence, and Venice. Now that's just amazing, because as I was going through and reading all of this, we can clearly see that it has broken it down like a travel agent. Like, this is where we would say that the future of work is really changing, because this is a whole different way. Like, it started with my arrival in Rome, all the way from my departure and going back to the airport. Some tips, like remember to book your accommodations and train tickets, and it's given me the ways and the paths to go about. So that's just amazing how you can actually create a travel plan using GPT-4. Another thing, we saw that we can do style, we can do travel plans. Another thing that I've also noticed we can do is get recipe ideas. Now, since we've spoken of going to Italy in March, I'm going to ask, now that I'm going, can you suggest some recipes I could learn before I reach there? If you notice, I didn't specifically mention the words, so it clearly understands what I'm talking about. So I said, absolutely, Italy is famous for its delicious cuisine, and learning to prepare some traditional dishes before your trip can help you appreciate the local food even more. Here are some 3 Italian classic recipes you can try. And then it gives me the recipes. It's just insane, like how amazing it can be. Now that the multi-language support is there, and since we've also established that we are going to Italy in this scenario, I'm going to ask GPT-4 to create us a poem. Write a poem in Italian about your story that you had written earlier. So I'm again using the context and coherence of everything that we've done so far, and it is giving us a poem. Can you translate this into English? So we can clearly see how multi-language is being supported. I think with this, we can clearly understand one pure, strong rationale, which I think should banish all the other fear that people in general are having, is that AI specifically is not something to be worried about, but it is the use that we have with AI, and it is the involvement of humanity. Because when we directly see how GPT or ChatGPT interprets or even creates stories from their own thoughts, and they also kind of feel like there is a way of bridging the gap between them and us. By using GPT-4 in the ways that we were able to see today, you can unleash your creativity and boost yourself. ChatGPT or GPT-4 is not replacing us, but with GPT-4, we can boost ourselves to a whole new level, like never before. Whether it's writing recipes or whether it's getting style advices, from anything and everything, GPT-4 is like the friend in the poem that GPT-4 just recited for us. I'm going to let Echo do the outro using GPT-4. So here goes Echo.
And there you have it, folks. We hope you enjoyed exploring the captivating world of technology and art with us. We've reached the end of this insightful and engaging GPT-4 video. Thank you so much for joining us today as we explored the fascinating world of artificial intelligence and its incredible potential. A special thank you to ChatGPT4 and Surzayan Ghosh for curating our script and guiding us through this fascinating journey. Remember, we're not just about the present. We're also looking forward to the future of AI as a creative force. We hope that you enjoyed learning about the advancements in GPT-4 and the many ways it's shaping our world. Your support means a lot to us, and we're excited to continue bringing you more content on groundbreaking AI technologies. If you found this video informative and entertaining, please take a moment to hit the like button, share it with your friends, and subscribe to our channel. Your engagement helps us grow and allows us to continue producing high-quality content on the latest AI innovations. Additionally, don't forget to click the bell icon to receive notifications whenever we release a new video. This way, you'll stay up to date with all the exciting developments in AI and never miss an episode. We'd love to hear your thoughts on GPT-4, so please feel free to leave a comment below. Engaging in conversations about AI is what makes this community so special, and we're always eager to learn from your insights and experiences. Once again, thank you for being a part of our journey as we explore the frontiers of artificial intelligence. We appreciate your support and look forward to bringing you more thought-provoking content in the future. Until next time, stay curious and keep exploring the incredible world of AI. If you liked this content, please don't hesitate to give this video a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss any upcoming episodes. Let's continue asking the deep questions about AI and its impact on art and creativity together. If you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing to our newsletter for more content on AI generative art. You can find us at surzayansubstack.com, that is SURZAYON substack.com. We also invite you to check out our Instagram account where we feature some of the most beautiful and unique AI generative art pieces. Follow us at Instagram.com nonfungiblefuturist.ai, that is Instagram.com nonfungiblefuturist.ai. I look forward to sharing more exciting topics related to AI generative art in future episodes. We truly appreciate your support and can't wait to delve into more exciting topics related to AI generative art in future episodes. My name is Echo, and I'll see you on the next podcast. Until next time, stay curious and keep exploring the artistic possibilities of artificial intelligence.